Most families who are about to relocate may not realize it, but each year, sofas and other overstuffed furniture pieces cost the moving industry millions of dollars in damage claims. And most of the damage is attributable to soilage that can't be removed by cleaning, which means that the item has to be completely reupholstered or replaced with a new one. Let's face it, moving furniture is hard work, and you can easily get hot and sweaty, and your hands tend to get dirty, especially from handling items from the customer's garage, attic, and basement, or crawl space. So stretch wrapping was developed to provide items such as sofas with an extra measure of protection from soilage. It may interest you to know that Allied's claim department recently conducted a test to determine exactly how effective stretch wrapping would be. The test program involved more than 550 shipments containing more than 900 sofas and another 800 to 900 pieces of overstuffed furniture. Only 15 of those shipments incurred any damage to overstuffed furniture, and none of the 15 had any damage caused by soilage. That's proof positive that stretch wrapping does work. Given the success of the test, the stretch wrap program is being rolled out system-wide, and what you're about to see is a demonstration of how the material is to be applied. First, let's take a look at the stretch wrapping product itself. It's a clear plastic film, which is available in different thicknesses, but the most practical for our purposes is the 80-gauge film. It's a strong material, highly resistant to punctures, and can be stretched up to 200%. It has superior cling, which makes it easy to use. And there's enough material on a single roll to stretch wrap about 15 sofas. Also, there are several accessories that are useful in the application and removal of the stretch wrap material. These plastic holder rings slip into each end of the roll of the stretch wrap film to protect your fingers during application. And this specially designed cutter enables you to remove the material safely while reducing the chances of slicing the fabric of the sofa. Now let's watch as Ed and John demonstrate the proper wrapping of a sofa. Before handling any sofa or overstuffed furniture, make sure that your hands are clean. Also, prior to preparing any such item for transport, it's important, of course, to examine it carefully for any existing damages, so that the customer doesn't hold us accountable for something that wasn't our fault. Examine the fabric for wear and tear, fading, rips, stains, soilage, and so forth. And pay particular attention to the back side of the piece, where such damage is often hidden from view. Also, check the legs and any wood trim for scratches and breakage. After closely examining the piece and recording any existing damages on an inventory and condition report, remove the cushions. Place 2 clean pads on the floor in front of the sofa. And turn the sofa upside down. A sofa can be stretch wrapped in its original position, especially if it's a heavy sleeper unit. But if it's not too much trouble to turn it over, you'll save yourself a little bit of back bending. You'll notice, too, that in turning the sofa upside down, the bottom skirt falls over, which also makes stretch wrapping a little easier. If you're dealing with a sofa that has an irregular-shaped backrest, it's a good idea to place a dish pack under each armrest for better balance. Begin covering the sofa by tying the stretch wrap material to one of the legs. Then, holding the roll of film with both hands, wrap the sofa as you walk around it, being careful to overlap each film application by about 4 inches. After circling the sofa with 2 of 3 wraps, return it to its upright position and continue stretch wrapping the upper portion, including armrests and backrests. At this point, after the sofa is completely covered, 3 simple cuts of the stretch wrap material will provide better space utilization when building tiers inside the van. Being careful not to get too close to the fabric of the sofa, cut the stretch wrap as close as possible to each armrest and down to the edge of the seat area, and then along the edge of the seat from one armrest to the other. After the cuts have been made, the stretch wrap material should lay flat on the seat area. Tuck some of the material into the crease between the seat area and the backrest, leaving a strip of film on the seat. Now, start with the inner side of the armrest, tucking in the stretch wrap material into the crease between the armrest and the seat area. Continue over the armrest and cut the material. Proceed to cover the exposed seat area, starting with the outer side of the armrest and over it, pressing the stretch wrap material against the inner wall of the armrest and into the crease between the inner wall of the armrest and the seat area. Make sure that the film is flat on the seat. Again, once you get to the armrest seat crease, press the film down with your palm and hold, while the other palm is patting it on the inner wall of the armrest. Go over the armrest, then cut the material, and continue in this manner until the entire seating surface is covered. And if you find any small areas that haven't been covered, simply cut off short pieces of film from your roll and apply them to the surrounding material. This is where you'll really appreciate the clingability of this stretch wrap material. Now here's something to keep in mind when handling cushions. If any portion of the sofa is soiled or otherwise damaged, the entire piece needs to be completely reupholstered at an average cost of $700 to $800. Therefore, consider the following options when handling cushions. 1. Pack them in a wardrobe or 6-cube carton. 2. Leave them on the sofa when you stretch wrap it. Or 3. Place them in heavy-duty disposable plastic bags. After stretch wrapping the sofa, place labels on the stretch wrapping material as a reminder that the sofa should be unwrapped only after placing it in the customer's new home, as well as to warn families with children and or pets that the stretch wrapping material, like any other plastic material, presents a risk of suffocation. It should be noted here that stretch wrapping is the most effective measure of protection against soilage, but the item still needs the additional protection of furniture pads. So after stretch wrapping and padding the sofa, we're now ready to load it into the van. As you probably know, overstuffed furniture, especially irregularly shaped pieces, can sometimes pose problems in the building of tiers. With most overstuffed furniture, however, the key is to be careful. Use common sense and build your tiers tightly, but without using brute force to make an item fit. At the destination, leave the stretch wrapping material on the sofa until after you've placed it where the customer wants it in his or her new home. Then, using the cutter that we talked about earlier, remove the material and dispose of it immediately. Don't leave it laying around where children and or pets might be tempted to play with it. One final note. Don't limit the use of stretch wrapping to overstuffed furniture. Consider applying it to items such as garden equipment, patio furniture, barbecue grills, and so forth, to prevent them from soiling other items in the shipment. And notify the folks in Allied's claim department of any other ways that you find to use it. So, as you can see for yourself, the sofa arrives at destination in the same condition that it was in at origin, thanks in large part to the extra protection afforded by stretch wrapping. Not surprisingly, a number of Allied agents and drivers who have used stretch wrapping have been very pleased with the results. They're convinced, as we are, that the 50 cents worth of material and the 5 minutes or so extra that you spend to stretch wrap your customers' overstuffed furniture will be well worth it. Reducing our claim costs in this one area alone will benefit drivers, agents, and the entire Allied system. More importantly, it will go a long way toward increasing customer satisfaction and ensuring repeat business. Your support and active participation is the key to our success.